Massachusetts puts her foot on the ball, but doesn't get much. And now we go up forward. No help there as the play went into the corner for California. And so now here comes Massachusetts getting it out of their area of the field. And it will be Kadi Amata kicking the ball away, but still Massachusetts with possession as Maeve Humphrey, trying to set something up. That is Humphrey there. But she is being heavily defended by Gutierrez. It was the midfielder that we spoke of before, who had very good offensive skills, it appeared earlier, and a perfect 4.0 for the center midfielder. You are watching 2015 Girls U.S. Youth Soccer National League Series Showcase Soccer. And we had several college scouts here in our 8 o'clock game. This is our 10 o'clock Eastern time. And I guess some of the people are saying we should say good morning with your morning coffee and perhaps eggs and bacon, or is it cereal and bagels, or whatever, fruit and Danish, whatever you're having here. I'm in North Carolina, so naturally we had grits this morning, but we over in California, it's the 7 o'clock hour. You're waking up with this game. Meanwhile, Massachusetts is kind of beginning the pattern of the day as you've tuned in online here on the Turbo Sports Network. Keeping the ball in the other side of the field briefly was number 7, Floorsmith. Lania Floorsmith. That's a very pretty name, but number 7 was not able to keep her team with possession, and Massachusetts now with possession. And a whistle blows, and I'm not even sure if that's on our field, actually. We have 4 fields right now, and in fact, yes, there is action. There's a game on field 2 behind me. This is field 1, and you may have heard a whistle right there, and now that whistle belongs to this field, field number 1. It's the Gillette Soccer Complex there in Wilson, North Carolina. So we have 2 teams here from 2 very different parts of the country. The story so far with Massachusetts up 2-1. The play of Brooke Cavino, who has 2 goals today. Just 15, but she's already committed to Boston College and showing us why. So she'll be returning to North Carolina eventually, as Boston College, boy, it seems odd, but Boston College now in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and they have been for about a decade. Player you're seeing there, number 23 for California, is Savannah Kessler. She's had her foot on the ball a lot today, but Massachusetts now with possession. Here's the ball goes towards the center of the field. The defense of California regaining possession. Can they get the ball on the Massachusetts side of the field? They cannot, as this is number 15, Lexi Gracioso, able to keep possession. And now that's Pine, who puts a shot, but not a real scoring opportunity, and Vandana Kadiamata is able to kick it away, but here comes Massachusetts again. Well, now California with possession, and they get it on their opposing side of the field. But not before it is taken Massachusetts is missing 2 players today. Olivia Johnson and Julia Barrasso are not here. Possession again in the center of the field. It is 2-1 in favor of the South Shore Select Elite team from Massachusetts. Meanwhile, Legends FC, and here comes a kick, and is that going to go? No, that is saved away as a slow kick right there, and a very nice play by the defense. So an opportunity there to tie the score up, deprived by the Massachusetts defense. And unfortunately, right now, it is Samantha Smith who is able to knock the ball away right there. Forgive me, the roster I have given is not a it is numerical, but the numbers are not in order. So sometimes I was a little bit late in identifying the player, and there was no chance to memorize rosters or anything. And I know this is no excuse if you feel I'm a little late, but I was literally 9:47 for a 10 o'clock game and given the rosters and the teams that are playing here. I can tell you that the team from Massachusetts is 0-1. They tied their first game of this showcase field, whereas the Californians defeated a team from Indiana 1-0. In their previous game. And so far in this tournament, Brooke Cavino has scored all of Massachusetts' goals. She had the tally in a 1-1 tie with FC Pride of Indiana. And I should say that the victory for California did not, well, it came over Campton United. And I think I got them mixed up. They may be from Indiana, but the team that Massachusetts beat was from Indiana, and I did misidentify. This is Logue, the goaltender for Massachusetts, who is kicking the ball away. Battle for possession at midfield, and right now the Legends have it. That is Kessler. Kessler kicking it back. Ray was the defender, but now this is Lucas, and Lucas for Massachusetts getting possession in the opposing part of the field. It looks like we're going to have a substitution here soon for the Californians. And here comes a shot that goes on goal, but is covered up by Caddy Amata, and she will kick it away. Savannah Pierce is going to go into the game here very shortly. And you may have heard her cheering her team on. This is Pine, Annie Pine, with the ball from Massachusetts. And the Bostonians, that is Samantha Smith, trying to push it forward. And here comes Cavino. Can she get her 4th goal of the tournament? No, not here at least. Tried to get it to a teammate, but defenders around. And now the ball goes wide of the net. 40-minute halves here in a game with 15-year-olds. And I am trying to determine the time of the game here. 2-1 Massachusetts with the advantage over California. Again, the time is almost impossible to read. In fact, it is right here. So it is my estimation that we are about halfway through the first half. And the other substitution that the Legends FC from California will be making includes Cameron O'Brien, who will be coming in. a diminutive player. And at the next opportunity, the Californians will make a substitution, but not before pushing the ball ahead right there from the midfield. That was Floorsmith, excuse me, but the ball going out of bounds, and so Massachusetts will have possession here and be able to set something up. Gutierrez giving strategy right now to O'Brien and instructions. Past midfield. Ball goes out of bounds, and we'll see a third player come in for the Legends FC 00. Californians. Ball being kicked around in midfield. We've seen early on a lot of scoring. It's a 2-1 lead for Massachusetts. The third player coming in for the California natives will be Allison Pepper, who's taking off her windbreaker. Let's see, coming out. Let's see who the players coming out will be. And the three ladies coming out. Ray Nogales and Haragi. Brianna Gara, I should say, Gara, still in the game. She has the goal for Legends FC. It's 2-1 in favor of South Shore Select Elite here in the first half of play. Lucas from Massachusetts, and the ball now in California's territory. Perhaps you can see the crown on the field here in the center, and the ball will go out of bounds. Possession in favor of Legends FC. And another substitution to be made. It's early morning here for the Californians, remember, as I mentioned. But Courtney Friel is set to come in. Now, earlier, Massachusetts made a 4-player substitution, so Californians now going to do the same with fresh troops in an attempt to tie the score. Here's an opportunity, trying to get it around the defender, but a nice play right there, but can they clear the ball? Nice play by the Legends FC 00 sweeper to prevent a goal to be scored right there and keep it a 2-1 Massachusetts advantage in the early going. Here we see Pepper, Allison Pepper, who's recently inserted in the game. So the fresh troops working out in their first test, and this is Lucas. Lucas keeping the ball in, trying to set something up, but the defense is well positioned. And an attempt for possession. Here is Lucas trying to get the ball on net, but instead it's cleared away. But no, Megan McDonough's shot goes wide. Lucas and McDonough unable to get to the ball, and this instead is the Californians' number 5, O'Brien, keeping it. Defensive action in the center of the field. And a nice save covering up and catching the ball, Kadiamata. So now California with possession. But now taking it away, that is McDonough. McDonough trying to find an opportunity, but just isn't there. And the goalie, Kadiyamada, will give possession back to her team. California with possession again. Gara, who scored the only goal for Legends FC 00, is able to get the ball in Massachusetts territory. And now we'll have the substitution, as coming in for the Californians is Courtney Friel. And coming out is Elisa Kolek. And we have another player coming in. As Massachusetts gets the possession, and this is Lucas. Lucas trying to set up her teammate. The defense for Legends FC very strong. The reinforcements working, and now possession. Here come the Californians. But it is cleared away by the defense of Massachusetts. South Shore Select Elite. A fine play by Kelly McNeil. The ball out of bounds possession will go to Massachusetts. Player to watch, Brooke Cavina, number 22, has 2 goals today, and that's the difference here, is it's 2-0 in favor of South Shore Select Elite. The time is not able to be read on the field, and so, and I believe the timekeeper is on the other side of the field to make this even more, so I'm going to have to estimate. There is a scoreboard here, but the lights just are not, they're just not on. They're not readable, and by estimation, I'm trying to judge right there. I heard one announcement that we're in our last minutes of the half. It is a 40-minute half. I guess next time I will try to keep a running stopwatch for the second half. I've got that on my iPhone, so I can give you that courtesy to sort of give you an estimation of where we are in the game. As the ball rolls down the hill and into the woods, which is a very North Carolina thing to do. It is retrieved, and play will begin again with California trying to tie the game up. The Legends FC 00 team from Chino Hills, California, Select Soccer, a 15 and under team. And that is halftime. Well, it began with 2 Brooke Cavino goals in the early going, and it looked like we were going to have an up and down game. Remember, these two teams, different formations very much, a 4-5-1 for Massachusetts, and for California, a 4-3-3. But then Brittany Gara was able to answer the call and get the Legends FC 00 team from California back into the game as she scored later on in the period. So that's where we are right now, 2-1 in favor of the South Shore Select Elite team. And we will take a break and be back for second half action, estimated 10-minute break here. You're listening and watching the 2015 Girls U.S. Youth Soccer National League Series on the Turbo Sports Network. excuse me. Welcome back to our second half action here in Wilson, North Carolina, for our game between, and I improperly gave you the name of this team. It is Hingham, Massachusetts South Shore Select Elite 15 and under girls team, who has a 2-1 advantage over the Legends FC 00 team from Chino Hills, California. I had an opportunity to listen into some of the strategy that Chino Hills wanted to do in the second half. They want to possess the ball, don't they all? But maybe doing a little bit more holding on to the ball rather than up and down. Still in the game 2-1. Now, of course, this is more of a showcase for the players to showcase their skills. Here today, watching the game right now, I did see scouts, and remember these are 15 and under girls, so it's very early in their development. In fact, some of these players will not graduate until 2019. However, it is a situation where we have a circumstance where recruiters, or shall I say scouts, coaches, what have you, from both Notre Dame and Dartmouth are currently watching this game. So that's something rather intriguing. Logue covering it up here for the Massachusetts team, was a 2-1 lead. Now, we do have a change in net for the Californians, as it is now Madeline Meredith in net for them. Of course, both teams change sides here. It is the team from Massachusetts, South Shore Select Elite, with the 2-1 advantage, and they are in red and in white with the gold numbers and maybe a little bit of purple trim. I mentioned before it was almost a UCLA look. Well, Carlos Guerrero's team, Legends FC 00, that's their outfit, and they have the ball right now with Vanessa Busso, number 10, having possession. Goals so far as the ball goes out of bounds. It is Brooke Cavino, the Boston College commit. Now, how does Boston College get a player so young? Well, it's real easy, I'm told at halftime. Christy Zermullen is an assistant coach at Boston College, and well, when she sees what Cavino, who's had both goals today, one on a kick inside the box and another on a header off of a corner kick, can do. And Cavino wears number 22 for those of you watching. Well, at that point, it becomes very easy to say, hey, how would you like to play in the ACC? And yes, that means that here in Wilson, Cavino, in time, in the years ahead, and this is Cavino right now trying to get possession and push ahead to get a hat trick, but she is denied by the defense of California. But she'll be returning to North Carolina to play her soccer eventually. Places like Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Durham, and Winston-Salem. Much of the play seemed to take place in the center of the field after the game began as an up and down affair. Now the goal for California, it is Brianna Gara, I am very sorry there, Gara, who was born on the 6th of June in 2001. And this is a new one on me. It's eventually going to happen, but a game where none of the participants were born in a year that begins with a 19. All of these players born, well, after the, I won't say it wasn't the change of the millennium. It felt like it. It wasn't the change of the millennium, but after 1999 gave way to 2000. And Y2K proved to be a myth. California now going from right to left, and Massachusetts obviously the opposite way. Again, they're somewhat appropriate uniforms, I would say, the color schemes. You would say, here's a team from Massachusetts, what would they wear? Well, maybe if you're a Celtics fan, you'd say green, but I think most people would say Red Sox, Patriots, and certainly red coats. But the red is appropriate for Massachusetts, and as I mentioned before, although the blue isn't there in the uniforms, it's something, the gold and white, that does sound very Southern California. UCLA, the Lakers, that sort of thing. At one time, even the Kings. Ball goes out of bounds, and so Massachusetts will have possession. South Shore Select Elite. They're from just south of Boston. As you might expect, not a large state. One could be near, say, Worcester, or that location of Massachusetts. And again, the ball rolls off the field, down the hill, and into the woods here from Field 1 at the Gillette Soccer Complex. So it's very much like when you played soccer in your backyard or any other sport. Eventually, the ball would go out of the field of play, and you'd have to go into some sort of territory. So often it seemed to be over the hill and out of the woods. We are in our 8th minute of the second half, and a mass substitution about ready to be made for California. I see 4 girls about ready to come in. Jones, who got the ball past midfield for Massachusetts, and he misses there on a header. This is Maservi. Maservi wearing the 18. And now the ball in the center of the field, and trying to make a play. It is Vogt, whose father, Art Vogt, is the manager of the team. Shot goes on goal, but there to cover it up, making her first save is Meredith. It was a game-time decision. In fact, 2 minutes before the anthem, I asked Carlos Guerrera, who are you going to start in goal? And he said, I don't know. Meredith evidently had a headache, but I was able to talk very briefly to Meredith at halftime, and she seemed fine. I guess the aspirin worked. And Meredith again will cover up a ball. This is Kane missing the opportunity, and now the Legends FC from California have possession. Kicking the ball in was Pierce. Now it appears that South Shore Select Elite will have possession again. Again, it is Brooke Jones. Ball cleared to the middle. And they attempt to clear it out, but Massachusetts keeps possession. As this is Vogt. Vogt, her shot is going to be a bit short and taken by Meredith of the Californians, who trail 2-1. We are almost a quarter of the way through the second half. And here we have the South Shore Elite team trying to set something up in their own end of the field. Throw it in. And the ball went out of bounds. Moy was not able to keep it in. That's the first time we caught. Jacqueline Moy is the player there. She officially wears number 8, but it's not on the back of her jersey. And Massachusetts getting a lot of possession time here, so Carlos Guerrero is going to make a substitution. Of course, the big thing to remember here is that it's a team game, but it's also an individual showcase designed to get players' attention. Cleared away. And the kick goes out of bounds. Massachusetts will keep possession. Throwing it in here will be Annie Pine. Annie Pine. Substitution now being made. And we are going to see these for California come in. Emily Haregi, striker, comes in. And so does Ryan Nogales. Coming out of the game, Cameron O'Brien, as well as Allison Pepper. Possession here as the ball goes out of bounds will go to the Massachusetts natives. And Kane has it in her own possession, and the ball is taken away by the Californians. That's Busso. Busso trying to advance into the net. The ball bouncing, and it's covered up by Logue, and Logue will kick it away, her team nursing a 2-1 advantage. Both goals scored by Brooke Cavino, and Cavino has scored all 3 goals in this showcase for her team. And here again, Logue with a covering up, a save there, and ball out of bounds. California with the attempt to tie this one up again. It's Courtney Friel who throws it in. Waiting on the sideline, McKenna Ray for California. So she will see some action as the talk was to try to hold and possess the ball. This game initially began back and forth. In fact, it was 2-1 rather early, but since then, not much. A lot of play in the center of the field, midfielders taking over. Cavino shadowed. Nice play here, getting the ball past Vogt by Lilana Floorsmith of California. Floorsmith eventually can't go all the way down the field. Still, the Legends FC team is able to keep possession until just now. That is Floorsmith. California looking for the tying goal somehow, some way. And we see here we are approaching our 16th minute of the half. It's a 40-minute half. Keeping time myself, this is unofficial, the time that I'm giving you, but it should be able to help us out. The scoreboard just not able to be read from our vantage point here. The play stops here, and so Meredith will kick the ball away. Meredith did not start the game. Vandata Kadiyamada, who received a lot of attention, if you will. She had a lot of action in the first half as Massachusetts did dominate a lot of possession time, and here they have possession again. This is McNeil, number 9, but now California gets the ball back, and this might be an opportunity here, but Logue comes out of the net and takes the ball for Massachusetts, and she'll punt it away. It's not something of a shank, actually, and it's going to allow the Legends FC 00, well, keep it at least in opposing territory. And Lucas couldn't keep it in. Vogt getting it a little too late, thrown in. Throwing the ball in there for California was Courtney Friel. These are 15 and under, and so only one collegiate commit so far, that being Brooke Cavino, who scored 2 goals today, and that's the difference. It's 2-1 Massachusetts. California's goal scored by Brianna Guerrera to have the lead of South Shore Select Elite. And the squad from Chino Hills now throwing the ball in, but they can't keep the possession, and so as the ball, again, I get such a kick out of this, rolling, the ball rolling off the field and down the hill, and now we have a substitution. As I mentioned before, McKenna Ray comes in, and coming out is the aforementioned Courtney Friel. So a little bit of size loss there in the center of the field for Legends FC 00. And now a long shot and a nice save there by Logue. Diving save. Shot came from Gutierrez. And now possession again, and Meredith covers up, and she'll roll the ball to her team. But it appears that, well, that's Kane, and she's going to be able to keep the possession. Here's Vogt. Vogt for Massachusetts, trying to get it to Kane on the right wing. Centering pass, but nobody's there. And the defenders kick it away. And so Massachusetts, will they be able to keep it in? Nice header there by Smith. That is Isabel Ruprecht around the ball for Massachusetts, but she loses possession. Here comes Legends FC down by a goal. We are approaching the halfway point of the second half, 40-minute period. The time that I am keeping on the field says we are now in our 20th minute. And about 56 seconds unofficially we'll be halfway through the period. So that's Vogt. Vogt spelling her team V-O-G-T. now in midfield, and that's Busso, who was able to take it into Massachusetts territory initially, but the ball now, and again, it looks like it's going to go into the woods. And again, that is very North Carolina, going down the hill and into the woods. The air is kind of easy to breathe, and that's saying something, because if this was played at a different time, you know, Massachusetts and California, not known really for allergens, but if this was played in the summer with the, or say, late August or late May, if this game was played then in this environment, you might have some players who are more substitutions, because it would be tougher to breathe with all the pollen and such in the North Carolina air. But the day began kind of chilly. It is not so chilly now as Meredith covers up. The sun has come out. Not a cloud in the sky. A clear blue sky. They like to call it Carolina blue here, except for the NC State fans who think that that's extremely pretentious. Shot here off the top of the post from Vanessa Busso in an attempt to tie the score. It's 2-1 Massachusetts, and there another nice save by Logue. The goal today by Brianna Gara halved the Massachusetts lead, but it was set up by two first period Brooke Cavino goals. Or should I say first half? Well, they're both periods. It's Busso getting the ball past Busso. I'll say this for her, Busso, she has shown some nice ability to get past defenders, and you saw a little bit there. As she develops, I'm sure that she will become extremely adept at that and be a fine collegiate prospect. Kick goes out of bounds. Wasn't even the ability to do the crossing. And now we're going to see another mass substitution. Massachusetts did this before Christy Zermullen, where she's going to replace 5 players at once. And you may see this. So legitimately, half the 10 players on the field, minus the goalie, of course. There are 11, but use the active back and forth. So fresh troops in for the South Shore Select Elite squad. We are past the halfway point of the second half, so again, fresh troops, and that might be a determining factor right there. The substitutions made later in the half, but still with the lead. I have 23 minutes gone by here in the second half. 2-1. South Shore Select Elite with the lead over Legends FC 00. Now, South Shore Select Elite is the National League Red champ, and Legends FC 00, the California team, is the Region 4 champ. Tomorrow at noon, the players from Hingham, Massachusetts will be playing the Century V, or that might be Century 5 Gold team from Western Pennsylvania. And at Century V, I would guess that they are from the West Mifflin area of Pennsylvania. Just a guess. Kick. Ow! And Carlos Guerrero on the sideline. He wanted that one, but shot right to Logue. She was able to be true to the challenge. And so the score remains 2-1 in favor of the Massachusetts players. Kick out of bounds. Here we are. Massachusetts able to get the possession, and here they come again. But the ball comes back, but it's more to set up almost. If this was hockey, there'd be a line change right now. Kane is number 25. She's trying to advance the ball, but set up into a trap by the Californians. This is Busso for Legends FC, kicking the ball into the opposing territory. And now a scoring opportunity. Here it comes, the kick. It will sail high from number 21, Emily Harrigy, one of the three strikers for the Californians. Remember, the Legends FC 00 squad playing a 4-3-3 unit. And meanwhile, the Massachusetts natives prefer to go a little more traditional 4-5-1. Perhaps the most traditional arrangement is 4-4-2, but it's also considered to be a little basic sometimes. Lucas set to get into the game. There's Cavino. They have done, since her 2 goals, there has been a very good job of shadowing Cavino and make sure that she does not get the ball. She, in fact, has not had much opportunity to have the ball at all. As now for Massachusetts, Lucas will come in. And coming out is Kane. So Fiona Kane to the bench. And Mackenzie Lucas comes in. Pardon me. All that I mentioned about the pollen in the air and so, well, December 4th, but perhaps one last lonely bug. This is Busso. This is Lucas, Mackenzie Lucas, who's listed on the roster as number 0, but wearing number 23, as you can clearly see. And Cavino trying to set up a teammate. There's an opportunity here, and the shot, it is kicked away by Meredith, and a nice save right there by the defense. Transition here. Massachusetts is going to keep possession. And falling down, are they going to say she was tangled up? They are. It was not a vicious hit, but nevertheless, Lexi Grazioso fell to the grass, and so she'll have the opportunity to set up a kick here, and a scoring chance now for Massachusetts, up 2-1. Kick, and it sails over the bar, and so the score remains 2-1 South Shore Select Elite. Goal there might have been able to clinch the game. We have just over 11 minutes remaining in the game, and California will have possession now. Was McDonough, and she is around the ball, but it appears as Busso for California has it. Nice back and forth right there by Busso. The ball, though, remains in California's territory, and here's a scoring chance here for Massachusetts as Humphrey tried to get it. That would be Maeve Humphrey, born the 15th of May in 2001. The 21st century athlete. kick going to the center of the Massachusetts zone. And now trying to set something up and a kick, but it's going to go wide of the net. There's some nice athletic moves there by Elisa Kolick, but the 4 defenders of Massachusetts just a bit too much. One of them will be kicking the ball away. This is Smith, Samantha Smith, who will be from the goal box. Smith again with the possession, as is Massachusetts. And now, here comes South Shore. Meredith covers up the ball for California, and Legends FC's goalie will punt it away. They trail by a goal here. Just 10 minutes unofficially remaining in the second half. I'm keeping time myself. And I have less than 9 minutes remaining, but that is not official time by any means. This game began very back and forth. It's a 2-1 advantage for South Shore Select Elite, with the future Boston College Eagle Brooke Cavino scoring 2 goals early on. And then to have the lead, the Legends FC were able to get their goal from the toe of Brianna Gara. Since then, it's been played a lot in the middle. Players generally speaking fresh, but one of the pieces of drama is, could the future Boston College Eagle get a hat trick out of this game? And maybe even if she is committed and verbally to Boston College, if such a player is going to be going there in 2019 or in playing there in the next decade, what will that do for future recruiting classes for the Boston College women's soccer team? Something to ponder. This is a 15 and under game. And the team from Boston wearing red with a 1-goal advantage. But California threatening here. They have the ball, and well, now they don't anymore. Whistle blows, and so Massachusetts will take possession. Trying to keep it, and the kick goes to me, actually. As standing outside, I am able to get it, but no time wasted. And this is Cavino. Cavino with a breakaway. Cavino, the defense converging, she dushes it off, and they're going out to the left wing is Massachusetts, trying to center it up for Cavino again so she can get a hat trick, but instead a whistle blows. And it appears that California will get another chance. They trail by a goal. The kick, as you may have heard, to Vanessa Busso seems to be a primary play. Well, the Legends FC with 3 strikers, and the kick, it goes out of bounds. Yes, I was right there. We're approaching the 5-minute mark left in the game. 35 minutes played here in the second period, or if you prefer have. Busso losing possession. Now, remember, you're probably less likely to see in a game like this, which is a showcase game, to see a team sit on the ball or try to hold possession, because frankly, this is a showcase game, and so it's designed for the individuals to show what they can do. It should also be said that this game will not have any overtime. So if, for instance, right now, as the ball goes to left wing, if Gara was able to get her second goal of the game, tie this, and that was the scoring, that'd be it, a 2-2 tie. South Shore Select Elite from Hingham, Massachusetts. Chino Hills, California, where Legends FC 00 calls their home. And there is an interesting way that the ball went on to number 7, Leanna Floresmith. But ultimately, Meredith covering up. She has the... She'll kick it away. Ball out of bounds. California will try to set something up. Unofficially, only about 2.5 minutes left in this game. So California trailing by a goal. They throw it in. But again, Massachusetts, well, here they come. Here comes Legends. And this is Gutierrez, who has her shot blocked, as does Busso. Busso now with an attempt, but Logue is there to cover up. The shot would have gone a bit wide. Unofficially now, I have 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the game. I'm keeping my own time, but it's a 40-minute half. Collision, and let's see what happens here. You may see some extra time. So Massachusetts will kick it deep, as you might think they would. And to tie the score up as the ball goes out of bounds. And again, down the hill and running quickly to get it. We could have some extra time here, but the second half kickoff started 39 minutes ago. Carlos Guerrero is saying quickly, quickly. He understands that time is short. Like I said, we'll likely have some extra time. So to get the ball one last time, perhaps into Massachusetts territory, here it is. And here is Gara, who has the only goal so far, being heavily defended. Can she get a shot off? The ball is going to go out of bounds behind the net. And so now there's a confusion here because nobody is around to throw the ball in as time continues to tick off. And this is a fundamental mistake right now for the Californians. This will be a center kick and a good opportunity for Legends FC 0-0 to tie. Can they get the header to get it in? No, not right there. A kick in a crowd and it goes out of bounds. We are now in extra time. Two additional minutes, we're told. As the kick goes out of bounds here. And Massachusetts with possession, and they'll take their time. Just maybe a second more, but this is California, and they get possession in Massachusetts territory, trying to kick it deep, but nobody is near the ball. The center of the field, is this Buso? Getting the ball now is number 12, and that is a player we haven't seen a whole lot of today. In fact, I'm looking, it's Kolek. Called her name a little bit. Logue covering up, and she has the ball. She'll kick it away. An attempt in the center of the field. Can they get one last shot away? I have about California desperately trying to get an attempt. There's about 30 seconds perhaps of extra time remaining. A shot from the center, and it's just over the bar. Buso could not turn her body and angle an accurate shot, and so Massachusetts with possession, and they'll take their time as seconds are growing extremely short. We are about 10 seconds left, if my calculations are correct. Ball goes out of bounds, and the ball goes literally down the hill, but is retrieved before it can. They're going to throw it in for one last time. We are at a 3-2-1 situation here, I believe, and a long kick will not get through the center of the defense, and that is the game. 2 Brooke Cavino goals in the first half give South Shore Select Elite from Hingham, Massachusetts, a 2-1 victory. It was Brianna Gara who was later on able to have the lead of Massachusetts, but the Legends FC 0-0 team of Chino Hills can get no closer. So an up and down first, let's say 15 minutes of the game, and then until just recently, kind of a game played in the center of the field, but the ultimate result is that the South Shore Select Elite team, the National League Red Champ, is still undefeated in this tournament. They are 1-0-1, while the ladies from California fall to 1-1. So again, it was South Shore Select Elite from Hingham, Massachusetts, 2 on the future Boston College Eagle Brooke Cavino's 2 goals, and Legends FC 0-0 1 on Brianna Gara's 1 goal. The winning goalie today is Kaylin Logue. The losing goalie, I guess, if you want to say that, would be Vendetta Kadiyamada, who gave up the 2 goals in the first half. So, that is it from Wilson here. I'm Marky Bilson. So long, everyone.